This is a piece I wrote about my brain cancer journey. Astrocytoma IDH-mutant grade 4. You will die from this. Death. When will I die? How will I die? What happens after I die? Wait. I will address death in its rightful place at the end of this unfortunate but true story. Let me start from the beginning. Diagnosis. Astrocytoma IDH-mutant grade 4. Removed from my brain on the 4th of August 2023. According to information generated by AI on the internet, quote, a stage 4 astrocytoma, also known as a glioblastoma, GBM, is a fast-growing and aggressive brain tumour that can be fatal if left untreated. Symptoms: headaches, difficulty speaking, visual changes, cognitive difficulties, and seizures. Treatments: surgery, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy. Survival: the average survival time is 12 to 18 months, with only 25% of patients surviving more than 1 year. End of quote. My prognosis: 24 months. My surgeon, brilliant by all accounts, told me that her surgical team removed 95% of my tumour, but that you will die from this. Do your bucket list. She was a straight shooter. I appreciated her honesty. But how can she know for sure that I will die from this? I don't care who she is. She can't read my future. She doesn't know me. How can she know for sure what my future holds? What my body is capable of? My body's own mysterious, miraculous powers of self-healing? And what research has she based my 24 months life expectancy on? No research that was done on me, on my brain tumour in my body. The science behind cancer, particularly brain cancer, is constantly changing. New theories come forward while old ones are discarded. Only a short time ago, a grade 4 astrocytoma was officially considered to be a glioblastoma, the most deadly type of brain tumour. It was recently downgraded to a less lethal category, with a slightly higher life expectancy. Such a reclassification seems comically arbitrary given the seriousness of the disease. Oncologists operate in the realm of probabilities based on the latest research that can be updated at any time. Maybe in a few years they'll reclassify my tumour type again. Maybe I will not be guaranteed to die from this in 24 months. Or at all. Dark night of the soul. I left hospital and went home to recuperate from my surgery. I indulged in many, many sleepless, long, dark nights of the soul, trying to decide if I would go ahead with standard of care treatment. If I'm going to die from this anyway, do I bother putting myself through the 8 months of treatment recommended to me with all of the associated horrific side effects? Temozolomide is the type of chemotherapy I would be taking to treat my brain cancer. According to Wikipedia, temozolomide is, quote, an anti-cancer medication used to treat brain tumours such as glioblastoma and anaplastic astrocytoma. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, constipation, loss of appetite, alopecia, headache, fatigue, convulsions, seizures, rash, neutropenia or lymphopenia, which is low white blood cell counts, and thrombocytopenia, which is low blood platelet counts. End of quote. Some patients experience such bad side effects they cannot make it through to the end of treatment. Would that be me? Temozolomide is so toxic You are told to wash your clothes separately from other members of your household, including sheets, and to flush the toilet with the lid down so that the chemotherapy chemicals you've excreted don't contaminate the air. You will die from this. If I'm a dead woman walking anyway, what's even the point? My treatment, should I choose to accept it, would start with 6 weeks of daily brain radiation, except for weekends and public holidays, and when the machine is being serviced, together with daily temozolomide pills. This would be followed by 4 weeks of no treatment, giving my body time to recover, then a further 6 months of higher dose chemotherapy. Would the mysterious number of extra days of life I gained from undergoing treatment really be worth the horrific side effects? Yes? No? I was leaning heavily towards no. Decision. I chose to go ahead with the standard of care treatment for 2 reasons, neither of which I'm particularly proud of. Firstly, I was and continue to be intimidated by experts in all areas, medical or otherwise. The belief of my oncologist that denying myself standard of care treatment would decrease the mysterious amount of days of life I have left to live made me doubt myself. What would I know? Who am I to doubt and waste the time of the experts, the intelligent, highly qualified, highly experienced, busy ones who save lives every day? I've no hope of being as smart as they are with their degrees and research and knowledge. I quit biology in Year 9. Who am I to waste their time with stupid questions and what ifs and doubts about the true benefits of the treatment they were recommending? I'm just a person whose life is at stake. Secondly, I find it almost impossible to take in even the simplest information when I am stressed and anxious. What hope did I have of understanding the complex biochemistry of my specific tumour while I was recovering from the extreme trauma of brain surgery and being haunted by the thought of my imminent death at the same time? My oncologists were very good. They had pen and paper at the ready. They drew me dumbed-down diagrams with lots of acronyms and arrows and conjoining circles and explained all sorts of stuff about cell mutations and mutant and non-mutant genes and the difference between IDH1 and IDH2 and pathways and percentages of improved life expectancy for my type of tumour if I chose to go ahead with the treatment. I nodded and said words like, okay, sure, indicating that I knew what the hell they were talking about. Sometimes I did. Mostly I didn't. I should have asked more questions and not stopped until I felt more secure in my decision. In the end, I was a good girl and I chose to go through with standard of care treatment. Treatment. I tolerated chemotherapy and radiation enough to make it through to the end of my treatment, although I did not make it through unscathed. The radiation and chemo exhausted my body beyond anything I have ever experienced. The radiation caused nasty, itchy burns on my forehead and my hair fell out, more so on the front right side of my head where my tumour had been. Due to extreme nausea, I could only keep my chemo pills down if I took an anti-nausea pill an hour before the temozolomide. I also had scary constipation. Constipation is bad enough, but when your body is full of weed killer strength chemochemicals it can't evacuate, constipation can land you in hospital. Forget about dying from the tumour. I felt like I was going to die from constipation. In the nick of time, I found a laxative that worked. Mind you, if you took as much as I did, any laxative would work. Towards the end of treatment, I had a maddeningly itchy, angry-looking chemo rash all over my body, as well as a low white blood cell count. I still can't talk about the fear, depression and dread that accompanied me through the entirety of my treatment. Even thinking about it threatens to bring back the darkness. Was standard of care treatment worth it for me? I don't yet know. But 16 months post-surgery and 7 months post-treatment, these are the things I do know. I had a brilliant surgical team. To date, I have not experienced any lasting physical or mental side effects from my surgery. My decision early on to take agency over the things I can control has kept my body and mind strong during and after treatment. This has involved adhering to the powerful adjunct therapy of a ketogenic diet, which is a low carbohydrate diet, and doing regular weight bearing and cardio exercise. I look and feel healthier than I have in years. My skin is clear and I have natural colour in my cheeks. My body feels and looks strong. My immunity is strong. I rarely get sick. We just returned from a bucket list 6-week world trip and I did not get sick once, while my poor husband came down with a nasty cold that hung around for weeks. To date, I have not experienced any negative psychological or intellectual changes from my tumour, surgery or treatment. I've never had a seizure. This is a true blessing. Seizures are an incredibly common side effect of brain tumours, brain surgery and radiation. They can often be catastrophic, causing neurological damage, not to mention the danger of physical injuries sustained during the seizure. Most patients who have experienced regular seizures are on anti-seizure medications for life. These come with their very own side effects. Interestingly, a ketogenic diet was traditionally used to stop seizures in treatment-resistant epilepsy in children. Could this be why I haven't had any seizures? I have incredibly supportive family and friends. My husband in particular saves me every day. We are a 2-person team. His love gives me a reason to live and my love gives him a reason to live. It's not just my life I'm fighting for. And lastly, I am blessed to live in a country where all of my cancer treatment has been free, except for a few scans and medications, although these are both highly subsidised by Medicare. The absence of financial stress is a true gift. You know, I don't want to end this story with death anymore. This is a true story. It is not true that I will die from my brain tumour. It is merely a medical opinion based on the latest research. So let me end here instead. Hope. I have felt the deep despair of hopelessness countless times since my diagnosis. Many times I've wanted to die, to assert some control over my own dark, uncertain future by ending my life while I still have my health and my mental faculties. But I'm still here because I have hope. For me, hope arrives out of nowhere and can return there just as quickly. I have no control over it. Sometimes it turns up in the darkest times, burning out my despair and hopelessness with bright, ferocious optimism. How does that work? Although I cannot make hope appear or stick around, I have learnt to be ready to greet it with open arms when it knocks on my door. I don't mind so much when it leaves now. I know it will be back. When hope arrives, I know I can overcome anything. Maybe even my curious, mysterious little friend, Astrocytoma IDH-mutant, grade 4. I hope everyone has a great 2025 and I will see you in the new year. See ya.